Just days after the following video originally went online on December 9, 2007, Roderick E. Webster, a 52-year-old from Oklahoma City, was booked into the Oklahoma County Jail on a murder complaint in the 1989 disembowelment death of 75-year-old Audrey Harris. Due to the graphic nature of this story, viewer discretion is advised. It's one of the most gruesome cases in the city's history. A scene out of the Jack the Ripper files. A woman killed and mutilated by a shadowy intruder.
It wasn't any systematic attack, it was just like an animal attack.
March 22nd, 1989. Lloyd Ballantyne went to bed about 3:30 p.m. and awoke with a headache about 8 hours later. He found the body of his common-law wife, Audrey Harris, on the floor, her remains scattered across her bedroom. He checked for a heartbeat, got dressed, and went out into the hallway, telling his landlord that Harris was covered in blood. Ballantyne said he had been attacked, beaten over the head. She was missing 11 sections of her intestines, her bladder, and her uterus. Detective Kyle Eastridge with the Oklahoma City Police Department has been following the case.
She was ripped. She was just, and of course she was a very small, elderly woman that was easily manageable. This crime scene suggests that this person was just in a frenzy, just almost animalistic. I mean, just the organs were removed and thrown against the wall, and just wasn't any systematic attack. It was just like an animal attack.
Lloyd Ballantyne could not provide police with a suspect description, and neither could anyone else in the area. Dr. Shauna Cleary, a criminology professor at the University of Central Oklahoma, is familiar with the crime.
As I recall, they didn't find a whole lot of blood in the trap in the sink. There was some, but not a whole lot. And so when this person left, this person probably had blood and maybe bits of body part on him. And it's interesting that he wasn't seen. Nobody who was ever interviewed saw this person. So I would think that this person went to somewhere pretty close by, or had some kind of place where he could go where he wasn't seen. Of course, it was dark when this happened.
Officers canvassed the area but came up empty-handed. Their attention returned to Ballantyne. He was arrested and put in jail, charged with first-degree murder. He remained in jail for 13 months before the charges against him were dropped. The evidence pointed to someone else as the killer, someone as yet unknown.
And some of the evidence that suggested that was a shoe impression from a tennis shoe that we've identified as a particular type of tennis shoe that is in dirt going into the apartment through a window, and then in blood coming out of the apartment. And the bloody palm print that was mentioned in the previous reports did not match Ballantyne's. We've also got some DNA evidence that's suggesting somebody else was involved.
Someone who has a particular degree of mental illness does that kind of attack in that way. This is not the crime scene of an organized offender. This is a crime scene of somebody who's chaotic. Chaos is often indicative of a certain degree of mental illness. So along a continuum, it can be slightly mentally ill, can be very mentally ill. So I think it was a stranger killer. Although the stranger could have been peeping in on her, I don't think it was somebody who knew her.
Investigators have pored over the crime reports from Oklahoma and the rest of the country, but not even the FBI has a case that resembles this horrific scene.
I've always thought that it could be somebody who was visiting, or somebody who had escaped from some type of detention center or mental hospital somewhere close by, was visiting a relative or something close by. And one of the reasons I think that is because of the shoes that the person wore. They turned out to be like Sam's or Walmart tennis shoes, and they were relatively new. And, institutions buy those types of shoes. It's not a type of shoe that somebody would have worn willingly or would have chosen to wear, probably.
It's pretty much like that it all ended right then, and this person just disappeared.